So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So let's get into it. All right, so week 11 of the NFL season is coming to a close. And for the Chicago Bears, they take a heartbreaker at home against the Green Bay Packers. They lose 20-19. In this video, as always, I'm going to give my recap on what I saw during the game, give my grades for offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. And without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. Once again, the Bears lose to the Green Bay Packers at home. The ownership continues. They lost a heartbreaker, and they played really well in this game. I thought that we had a chance to win it. Some things played out at the end that I didn't necessarily agree with, but we'll get into all that during this video. So let's just start with the recap, man. Main thing everybody wants to know, the elephant in the room, how did Caleb Williams play on Sunday? I thought he played pretty well. 23 of 31 for 231 yards passing. Didn't have a touchdown, but didn't have an interception. 74% of his passes were completed. And he had, I think he had a one, let me see real quick. He had a 95 quarterback rating on the day. Caleb Williams looked awesome on Sunday, and I think this was one of the best games he had played all year. Calm, confident, getting the ball out of his hands, not taking many sacks. Did take 3 sacks, but that was more towards the end of the game. Thomas Brown schemed up the offense for Caleb Williams, specifically for him, and it showed. If Williams was playing with confidence, he was getting the ball out on time, it looked more accurate. They were getting into the hands of his weapons, and this is what we wanted from Caleb Williams, and this is what we need to see more of going forward with Caleb Williams, because he dealt with the pressure that Green Bay was bringing pretty good. Now, mind you, it is only the first game with this new coordinator. Defenses haven't really seen much of this coordinator, so we don't know how other teams will adjust to it. But I felt like he was kind of carving up that Green Bay Packers defense, especially with his legs. But his arm was definitely effective as well. Had a great play towards the end of the game on 3rd and 19, where he somehow found Rome Odunze, then found him again later in the quarter. So he made a couple crazy throws. We'll go through that in the midweek. But I thought, he played pretty well. I'm hoping to see this progress continue. Maybe take a few more deep shots, kind of work on that deep ball accuracy a little bit more. But overall, I thought he played well enough to win this game. He got them into a position to win it in the 2-minute drill. Just didn't play out that way. But overall, good game for Caleb Williams on Sunday. Moving on to the rushing, DeAndre Swift, 14 attempts, 71 yards, averaged 5 yards per carry, had 1 touchdown on the day. Caleb Williams also rushed for 70 yards on the day, definitely used his legs a little bit more. Roschon Johnson got involved, 10 attempts, 33 yards on the day, 3.3 yards per carry, but he did have a touchdown. Felt like the running game was up and down for the entire game. DeAndre Swift wasn't as effective as I would have liked. He did have that one big touchdown run, a 39-yard touchdown run, in which Braxton Jones freed him up with a murderous block on the Green Bay Packers defender. But overall, Caleb Williams really destroyed the Packers with his legs in this game. Every time they blocked the blitz, he would break contain and run for a first down. He was using his legs a lot more, and this is what we want to see from him going forward, as he is more dangerous with it when he's using his legs. And this is what we need to see from him, because he's a dual threat quarterback. He did it at USC. Something clicked with him this game where he wasn't going to stand there and take all these sacks. Even the sacks he did take, it was more just kind of a guy just getting behind them, or maybe he did like an ill-advised move, or the tackle got pushed back in front of him. So, using his legs, getting outside the pocket, making plays outside the pocket, especially on that 3rd and 19 play. That was something that we've seen from Caleb Williams at USC, and it showed. Green Bay couldn't deal with his legs. And all game he was killing them, and they were putting together good drives, and they were getting points off of that. So good day for the rushing. I would like to see DeAndre Swift's vision be a little bit better though. Receiving, probably one of the most complete games for the receiving core. Rome Odunze with a couple spectacular plays today, especially late in the game. 10 targets, 6 receptions, 65 yards. DJ Moore, the second leading receiver, all 7 of his targets were caught. He had 62 yards. Cole Kmet, all 3 of his targets were caught. Keenan Allen had 8 targets, 4 receptions for 41 yards. It felt like the receiving core was getting open a little bit more. There were a couple drops in this game, I will say. DJ dropped 1, Keenan dropped 2, and one of them was really crucial. But overall, these guys were getting open, and I feel like Thomas Brown was scheming all these guys open, getting the ball out of Caleb's hands quick, not letting him sit there, take punishment, not these slow developing plays that we had seen with Shane Waldron. Overall, I was really happy with how the offense played. I do think that they could have benefited more with being a little bit more aggressive when they got to the red zone. The protection up front was still a bit of a question. Even if he didn't get sacked as many times, he still had to bail pocket a lot. And I'd like to see the rushing attempts and numbers go up for Roschon Johnson, as it seemed like he had the hot hand in this game. But overall, I felt they played well. I'm going to give them a B+. Again, you could have put up more points in 19, but you saw the improvement with Caleb Williams this week. You saw the improvement with the offense. Not as many penalties, not as many guys running the wrong routes. Everybody seemed in sync. It just seemed like a more simplified offense that was working. And they gave Green Bay hell with their offense. So overall, I give them a B+ for that. Defense was the issue in this game. 20 points for the Green Bay Packers. The rushing for the Green Bay Packers was unreal. Josh Jacobs absolutely destroyed the Bears defense. He averaged 4 yards per carry, 76 yards on the day. He also had 1 touchdown. Jordan Love was also a problem with his legs as well. He kept breaking contain constantly, play after play after play. I felt like the secondary took a step back because late in the game, Christian Watson got open. Jalen Johnson fell down. Elijah Hicks had a couple plays where he fell down and gave up big plays to Christian Watson. And then we couldn't get pressure on Jordan Love, which was really, really important. We never seemed to get any pressure on this dude. They only had 1 sack, and that was basically on a play he ran out of bounds. I just don't understand why we couldn't get consistent pressure. DeMarcus Walker had the only sack. Montez Sweat was pretty much ineffective. They kept chipping him. They kept doubling him. It felt like nobody could get home in this game. A couple questionable coaching decisions with the defense as well. We played a very soft zone in that 2-minute drill that they had where they went down and scored the go-ahead touchdown. I felt like our backers were a little bit slow. Kevin Byard was the leading tackler with 9 totals and 4 solos. There were plays that could have been made on the ball as well. Maybe if Elijah Hicks doesn't fall down on that play action shot by Jordan Love, maybe, they get that interception. Maybe if that's Jaquan Brisker there, he gets that interception. Jalen Johnson can't fall down on that crossing route. He has to be able to shuffle his feet, get underneath the receiver and try to make a play on the ball. You're paying him way too much money to be falling on the ground like that. But, not their strongest game, but not their weakest game either. They still only gave up 20 points. They put their offense in the position to go down and get a go-ahead score. And to be fair, we didn't get blown out this time. So, I felt like the defense took a step back, so I'm going to give them a C-. I'm going to add a little bit of a plus because this is Green Bay. They usually score 30 against us, and we were able to hold them to 20. We also got a turnover at the goal line, which kept, the Green Bay Packers at the end zone on a crucial drive. So I thought they played well in spots, but they got to get much better against the run, and they got to shore up the secondary after this week because there was just too many plays left out there for me. Special teams. This is the one, man. This is the one time I got to be a little bit critical. Other than DeAndre Carter, he had 2 kick returns for 55 yards total. Cairo Santos, he made 2 of his field goals, but the crucial one that we needed, it got blocked. It's not really on him, but I will say the special teams unit on the offensive line, they have to be better. They have to be able to block up front because if you let that guy get through, exactly what happened, he got his long arm up there and blocked it. Usually special teams is much better than that, but I had a feeling that was going to happen. We'll get to that in a minute. Overall, it's not really Cairo's fault that the kick got blocked. If you get a little bit better protection up front, I think he makes the kick. He also was one-on-one on extra points. So I'm going to go ahead and give the special teams a B-. For the first time, they do not have an A+. When you get a blocked field goal, man, and you're not getting that protection up front, it kind of docks your points right there. And we had a chance to win the game, but poor execution up front by the offensive line for the special teams unit. And overall coaching, man, I'm so sick of this coaching. I will say Thomas Brown was a plus. He definitely was a plus. He was calm. He was confident. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He wasn't shaking. He was animated in the booth. He was getting the ball out of Caleb's hands. He was getting the ball to his playmakers, you know, calling pretty good plays each time they touched the ball. He also held time of possession as well. And overall, he got this offense to score points, and it put us in a position to be able to win. Overall, I'm happy with how Thomas Brown coached, but we still need to see more as teams adjust. Is he going to be able to have that wrinkle to make those adjustments and get yardage that way? As for Matt Eberflus, this is the same thing always happens with Matt Eberflus. This has happened before. We went down 3rd and 19. Caleb gets to Rome Odunze. Then he goes to Rome Odunze again. Then he goes to Keenan Allen. You're in field goal range. You have about 40 seconds on the clock. You take a run with Roschon Johnson up the middle. Okay, you get like 1 yard. There's still like 30 seconds on the clock, mind you. Why didn't we line up again in no huddle and get under center and go and just try to run it again? Just try to run it again. If you don't get no yards, then you take a timeout and then you kick it. Why would you let the clock run out and you're taking a 46-yard field goal because you want to have a low kick? And because you want to have a low kick, the guy gets through and he blocks the field goal. So instead of being aggressive and instead of making it easier on your kicker, you made it harder. Plus it was from the left hash, mind you. If you get a few more yards with Roschon Johnson, maybe let's say he gets about 5 more yards, that 46-yard field goal just turns into a 40-yard field goal. Or maybe he busts one open for like 10 yards. That turns into a 39-yard field goal. Why would you let the clock run down to 3 seconds without running another play? And that's what cost the Bears this game. He keeps costing the Bears games, and they will not do anything about this dude. People keep saying this is who they are. You got to accept that. You know, they've been doing this for the better part of 50 years. I'm not accepting nothing. If you accept that, and I shouldn't accept it. People pay too much money for these damn tickets for the Bears to keep doing dumb stuff. And, you know, if you accept losing, you shouldn't accept losing. You should learn from losing. And it just feels like Matt Eberflus does not learn because he keeps losing these games like this. This was the first time in a while since 2018 that you could have beat the Green Bay Packers in your house. In your house, in a situation, the Green Bay Packers were on the sideline sweating bullets. This game was won, but because of poor coaching, head coaching decisions, and a conservative head coach, you continue to lose games this way, and that's why the score is the way it is. I'm going to give the coaching a C-. I thought Thomas Brown called a pretty good game, but the shortcomings of Eberflus not going for it on 4th down, and then the whole fiasco with the field goal thing, it's going to dock points. That's why we lost this game. I'm disappointed. C- for the coaching overall. But that's all I got for you guys in this video. A little bit more of a fiery video, but man, I wish we had a good chance to win this game. I was so excited. But I had it was a feeling in the pit of my stomach that I thought they were going to lose this game on that field goal. He was going to go sideways or it was going to get blocked. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. So Green Bay escapes with another win. They're not out the woods yet. They were sweating bullets, man. I'm telling you. You get another head coach, we can beat this team. But overall, I'm up out of here. We got Minnesota next week, so I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It helps the channel grow. I'm on my road to 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that big red sub button. Make sure you guys like the video and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these videos. Leave your comment in the comment section. Follow me on social media, as there's bound to be endless discussion about the Chicago Bears. And without further ado, bear down, and I'm out. Peace.